And this is the last of this week's GTA Online weekly update offer car videos, and this is for the Lampadati Komoda, which is surprising in a number of ways. So this is based on the Alfa Romeo Giulia, with Alfa Romeo being, so far as I know, the only car company either brave enough or crazy enough to have an image of a snake eating a child on their badge. But let's not get bogged down with "ooh, wait, oh," and we'll just focus on the car, which, as I say, was a bit of a surprise. At first I thought, this thing's slightly unremarkable. The customisation's okay. It's certainly not the worst, certainly not the best. You can make it look individual. There's nothing spectacularly different about the customisation, but you can certainly make it look okay, and you can make it look like the quadrifolia, if I'm pronouncing that right. Am I butchering it? I don't know. But that's the one that it's based on, which is the Cloverleaf, which is Alfa Romeo's sports brand. So the first thing you notice about this car when you drive it is how sweet the handling is around town. At first it feels a little bit skittish, but it's really controllable. In real life, this car's a V6 rear-wheel drive. There is a four-wheel drive version, but the one in the game is based on the rear-wheel drive version, and it drives like that, but it's in a lovely, controllable way. It feels really well sorted. The more I drive it, the more I like it, and the more I think this is great fun. So at the point that I'm releasing this video, this is on offer at 40% off. So it's just over $1 million. So let's just bear that in mind, just over $1 million. So the second thing that you notice about this car is the noise. Because unlike many of the cars in the game, I think this has a really lovely engine note. Let's just take a second to have a listen. And that's a lot better than so many of the other engine notes in this game. Really individual, quite raw, quite realistic actually, because in real life these cars, they are very sporty, they are quite raw. So, top speed, let's have a look. And the top speed's kind of okay. The interesting thing is that when you're driving this through the city, it feels really good. As I say, really good handling, really responsive, great fun to drive. On the freeway, it kind of feels a little bit unremarkable. And that's why the last part of this was such a surprise. And that's the lap time. So we'll get round to that in a second, but let's just say this lapped my track faster than the Tesseract. So, final thoughts and review. What do we think? Is this worth $1 million? I'm gonna go in and say yes, I think it is. I'm not sure I would have bought it at full price. I'm really glad I picked it up for $1 million, because it's not only has it put in a really solid lap time, which makes you think you would probably do okay in races with this thing. You know, what it lacks on top speed, it makes up for in the fact that the handling is so good. It's got a decent amount of weight to it, so it doesn't get flipped upside down if you happen to drive too close to one of the signposts. And all that combined makes it really controllable, really usable. If this thing had Imani tech, this would be one of the best free roam cars you can get. As it stands, it's just a very, very good free roam car. But I really do wish it had the anti-missile lock on. So coming back to that time, and here we go. This is the time it managed to do. And as you can see, this is right near the top of the leaderboard, above the Tesseract. It's actually above some of the cars on the HSW lap time board. So for what should be a sedan, I'm not sure why it sits in the sports class instead of the sedans class, what should be a sedan, that's a fabulous time, and it's a fabulous car. So you've still got a day left to pick this up at 40% off, so if you've got the spare money, I think this is a definite buy. And here's the rest of the lap board, which I've had to slow down because it's now getting a little bit too long. As ever, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe. We're getting really close to 1,000. Any subs we can get us over that 1,000 subscriber mark would be absolutely awesome. The links to the laps are in the description. If you want to do your own, there's also a link to the website. So if you beat one of my times, submit it through the website and I will give you a shout out in the next video. As ever, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.